Conscious Guide Team by Sheepdog and Shepherd.
Hey Shepherd, we better do an episode on shaming, because the kids in school are out of control with their shaming each other. It's not a good thing, Shepherd. George Washington said, "Wherein you reprove one another, be unblameable yourself, for example is more prevalent than precepts."
Conscience Guide Team 11.0 Shame. Often addressed in psychological literature and most often in an unfavorable sense. Regularly employed as a method of ideological and societal policing. I am referring to shame. Dictionaries define shame as a painful feeling caused by the consciousness or exposure of unworthy or indecent conduct or circumstances. Shame figures prominently in the news media and entertainment industry. If a person does not behave in accordance with societal or ideological expectations, society will shame the person. Does the manner in which humanity employs shame illustrate the brokenness of humanity? In preparation for this episode, I discovered myriad websites addressing the emotion of shame. Types of shame, healing from shame, therapies for shame, strategies for dealing with shame, factors involved in making one feel shame, females shaming other females, masculinity in shame, roots of shame. Most of the discussions about shame revolve around the unfavorable aspects of shame. Is it possible for shame to be employed in a favorable context? If shame revolves around societal expectations and political ideologies, shame will inevitably focus on the humiliation and destruction of the individual. In this sense, shaming is a form of bullying. Humanity's inclination to accumulate wealth, power, and influence results in humanity exploiting the emotion of shame. If the feeling of shame originated from one's innate moral code, then shame will focus on the relationship between oneself and one's deity, and between oneself and one's neighbor. When shame is thus employed, there is a longing for redemption and reconciliation. Ancient literature describes how a man by the name of Job was shamed by his own friends. Job pleaded with his friends to stop shaming him and asserted that his deity would rescue him from shame and vindicate him. Job said,
"Oh, that my words were recorded, that they were written on a scroll, that they were inscribed with an iron tool on lead, or engraved in a rock forever. I know that my Redeemer lives, and that in the end he will stand on the earth. And after my skin has been destroyed, yet in my flesh I will see God. I myself will see him with my own eyes, I, and not another. How my heart yearns within me."
In its proper role, shame functions as an instrument of the conscience operating from its innate moral code, not political ideologies or societal expectations. When someone violates the relationship with his or her deity, that is something to be ashamed of. When someone hurts or harms his or her neighbor, that is something to be ashamed of.
Do you believe the emotion of shame can be used in a positive sense to regulate our relationships? Do you believe humanity has exploited the emotion of shame to accumulate power, wealth, and influence? When have you felt shame? If you have incited someone to feel shame, was it based upon capricious societal expectations and political ideologies for the purpose of humiliation? Or was it based upon an absolute moral code toward the end of redemption and reconciliation? Do you believe Job's deity could deliver you from shame?
Special acknowledgement to our references.
Special thanks to voiceover artists Cynthia and Todd and content consultant Ed.
Thank you for watching our presentation on matters pertaining to conscience. Please subscribe and offer your comments. Produced by Sheepdog and Shepherd, aka M. Gilbert Steiner, author of Short Man of Nuremberg.